Through the long river of history, the pyramids of Egypt have always been a symbol of mystery and ancient wisdom. As a documentary filmmaker, my team and I embarked on a journey to unveil the secrets of these ancient structures. However, what we experienced far exceeded our curiosity about ancient civilizations. Our adventure began with the Giza Pyramid Complex, where we planned to thoroughly document the details of these structures and explore the hidden stories behind them. Led by an experienced guide, we traversed the giant tombs in the desert, capturing a wealth of precious footage. However, just when we thought everything was going smoothly, a series of bizarre incidents shattered the calm. The initial strangeness occurred on the day we entered the Pyramid of Khafre. As we delved deeper, the dim passages and icy walls instilled an inexplicable unease in everyone. As we went further, I noticed our guide's complexion turning pale, his demeanor becoming distracted, frequently looking back. When I inquired if he felt unwell, he merely shook his head, his voice trembling. "It's them, the ancient guardians. They are here." At first, we thought this was just the guide being influenced by superstition, as the pyramids and tombs of ancient Egypt have long been surrounded by various legends and supernatural phenomena. But what happened next was beyond any simple explanation. We entered an unexpected enclosed chamber, ready to document the murals and hieroglyphs inside. This should have been an ordinary archaeological recording. However, the experiences that followed filled each of us with shock and bewilderment. Our recording equipment suddenly began emitting piercing noises, as if it was being interfered with by some indistinct signal. Almost at the same time, all of the lighting equipment in the room went out in an instant, leaving us in utter darkness. Looking around, the only light source was the weak beam from our flashlights, which seemed exceptionally isolated and powerless in the dark. Soon after, unsettling rustling noises echoed in the room, as if something was slowly crawling on the walls, exploring the darkness. We initially thought it was the sound of the wind, or perhaps our own hallucinations, but the noise grew louder and closer, impossible to ignore. Fear began to spread among us, and the atmosphere of anxiety and tension rapidly heated up as we tried to locate the light switch in hopes of re-illuminating the room. An unexpected cool breeze blew from nowhere, sending chills down everyone's spine. With the wind came a strengthening of the strange crawling noise, as if responding to this sudden chill. We were almost certain that this was not the action of any animal we knew or the wind, but some inexplicable force at play. Then, a terrorized scream ripped through the tense silence squeezed between the walls. It came from a team member whose cry sent shivers through all of us. His flashlight flickered irregularly, but we could all clearly see that its beam was directed towards a dark corner. The spotlight revealed one or two indistinct shadows in that corner. They appeared to be incarnations of the dark itself, or life forms from another world unintentionally dragged into our reality by the beam of light. The shapes of these shadows were vague, neither resembling humans nor any animal we were familiar with. They moved slowly and unnaturally in the corner, as if trying to find a balance between panic at being disturbed and curiosity about this unknown world. Their presence was like that of creatures from another dimension that had strayed into ours, bringing chaos and fear. We all stopped in our tracks, facing this unprecedented phenomenon. Everyone fell into a state of surprise and fear. A profound panic filled the air, swirling in the depths of everyone's heart, making it difficult for us to breathe. Our eyes were firmly fixed on those shadows, trying to find some clues or reasons to comfort ourselves. But it soon became clear that all attempts were futile. These shadows seemed to exist outside of time and space, vague and hazy, like messengers of nightmares manifesting intermittently in our reality. They twisted, expanded, spreading out like tentacles, and every time they were about to dissipate, they suddenly condensed again. Our heartbeats thundered in our chests, yet we couldn't break free from this tangible nightmare. All we could do was watch their every move, hoping the terrible vision would suddenly evaporate into smoke. The heightened tension sharpened our senses, and in an atmosphere laden with profound unease and uncertainty, fear and confusion were written on every team member's face. We relied on each other, searching for a shred of support and courage. We were afraid of the reality unfolding before us. It meant that the edges of our worldview and sanity were crumbling. Yet deep down, How much we wished this was all just a hallucination induced by extreme fear, a terrifying psychological game. Every subtle sound in the air pricked our nerves like needles, the restless shapes of the shadows flashing before our eyes as if signaling a secret about to be revealed. Even the faint whispering that we had ignored seemed to amplify in this silent terror, becoming a voice of chaos etched deep into our souls. At that moment, we realized that what was happening in this sealed room far exceeded our understanding. This was not merely the influence of superstition. Amidst the chaos and panic, faint red eyes observed us from a distance, emitting a supernatural luminescence. They did not cast any actual light, yet in the complete darkness, they stood out starkly, like the brightest stars in the night sky. These eyes did not belong to any known animal, but rather resembled the protective eyes from ancient murals, profound and knowing all secrets. Regarding these mysterious eyes, there are many legends and historical records about ancient Egypt that might relate to them. These stories often involve the gods of ancient Egypt, guardian spirits, and secret knowledge about protecting the pyramids and pharaohs. One notable legend is about the Eye of Horus. The Eye of Horus, also known as Wawajet, is one of the most well-known and respected symbols of ancient Egypt. It is said to represent protection, health, and restoration. Horus lost one eye in the fight against the evil god Seth, but the eye was restored, becoming a symbol of power and healing. The Eye of Horus also symbolizes divine observation and omniscience, capable of seeing everything in the dark, knowing and seeing all. The eyes had no whites. Only two deep black pupils emitted a faint green glow, which felt both sacred and inviolable. Faced with those eyes, I felt a strong connection, as if they were a message left to posterity by an ancient civilization. Yet, this connection also carried an ominous sense, because those eyes made everyone who saw them feel scrutinized, peering into every corner of the soul. In that space filled with darkness and terror, we faced something real, cruel, and completely unknown. In the pitch-black darkness, mental pressure and uncertainty caused fear to spread through our hearts like wildfire. Then, we heard that spine-chilling noise, a distinctive rustling as if something was crawling on the walls. This sound, accompanied by the hot, humid air, heightened our confusion and unease. We turned around, trying to retreat, to leave that malicious room as quickly as possible. However, panic made our thinking chaotic. What was once familiar now seemed foreign, and we couldn't determine which way to go, even feeling confused about where the exit was. We gripped our flashlights, weak though they were, as they were our only hope. We depended on each other, encouraging one another. Despite the chaos, we did not give up, never gave up. Our heartbeats echoed in the stillness, with unknown and intangible fears surrounding us, as if ready to engulf us at any moment. However, at that moment, we realized that only by uniting could we possibly find a way out. Everyone suppressed their own fears and focused on finding that sliver of hope. Our flashlight beams were weak, but they became our only navigation in that endless darkness. We took turns leading, trying to find some pattern or markers in this labyrinthine space. Even the smallest clue might be key in guiding us out of this predicament. We used all the ropes and markers we had to leave signs at every turn to avoid entering the same dead end again. As time passed, our physical strength gradually depleted, but our determination and hope grew ever stronger. In this duel with time and psychology, we encouraged each other, transmitting support and strength through our actions and glances. We began to observe our surroundings more carefully, realizing that any unusual arrangement of stones, details of murals, or even the slightest differences in air flow could be clues to finding our way out. Just when we were about to give up, one team member noted a faint, barely perceptible air movement. We followed this new discovery, and guided by this weak flow of air, we found a crevice. Although narrow, it was sufficient for air to pass through, indicating that the outside world was just a little distance away from us. With some effort, we managed to enlarge this gap, and light along with fresh air began to pour in, bringing us long-lost hope. We tried every means, utilizing the tools we carried. Each member of the team utilized their unique skills. Some dug, some provided support, and others scouted ahead. Through our collective effort, That initial tiny crack expanded into a passage wide enough for a person to go through. One after the other, we crawled out, emerging into the outside world. The sunlight was blinding, yet so warm. We could hardly believe we had actually escaped from that terrifying place. Returning to the outside world, the sunlight made us breathe a sigh of relief, but the fear within us took a long time to subside. Back at our accommodations, we attempted to comprehend everything that had happened, but there was no logical explanation. Even more unsettling, upon reviewing the footage we shot inside the pyramid, we discovered scenes we had not noticed at the time. Shadows moving without any light source and indistinct whispering echoes in the recordings. This experience made each one of us reassess our understanding of ancient Egyptian civilization. Behind the grandeur of the pyramids lies a force we cannot fully grasp or explain. Although we returned with valuable data, the unsolved mysteries and fears of the night will forever accompany us.